Theme song
2.0.
Welcome. Oh, it's loading. Okay. This is a request by Flat Rabbit. Are you an actual Flat Rabbit?
I'm always curious as to, how people choose their handles,
I agree. It's very interesting.
Because I don't really have one. Like my Twitter thing is like the closest I've got to one, and that's just because usually Gabriel's taken in places.
That's true, yeah.
And the whole thing was like, okay, well, what can I have? And I made that Twitter account while I was on the door at the bar.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, there's that. And so it's one of those ones where I know it's not going to be taken anywhere. So it's sort of like, there's a few things where it's showed up again, but like, I don't really have any kind of form of online presence beside the obvious. And, there's a few, like, I've got a membership to the fucking French emulation site, which is useful. God, what else? Membership to Emu Movies, which is also useful. I honestly, if you, like me, are building, either a big emulation setup, be it arcade or particularly console, I do recommend membership in Emu Movies. It's $5 a month, but they have a staggering amount of digitized booklets, preview videos, themes,
Nice.
the kind of things that make your emulation setup more than just double-clicking on a fucking icon and getting something.
Yeah, you're going into enthusiast territory.
Yeah, it's enthusiast territory stuff. But they do a lot of work, and a lot of it's just otherwise just amateur people just fucking getting stuff done.
So this game was called Timesplitters.
It still is, but it also was called Timesplitters.
It's a pretty
I don't know. I just saw Aaron shoot a fucking person of color for no identifiable reason.
He shot me.
That one did, yeah. But
The other one was gonna shoot me.
So you could tell there was just something in his skin tone.
Look, I'm not racist.
But I will shoot black people with my mouse.
It's a fucking shooter. Fuck you. I shoot everyone.
It's not your fault. That gun is racist.
And also, this game's from fucking a mile away. Also, this goes without saying, people. I support human fucking rights. I had someone have a go at me the other day because I spoke up on Twitter and saying, look, I support all this shit. If you don't like it, go away. And someone's like, oh, you're just being woke and all this shit. It's like, no, I believe people should fucking live, you dumb shit. Holy fuck. It's not me being woke. It's the fact that silence is worse than nothing. So I'm saying I support this shit.
The United States is such a fucking degenerative state anyway. It's just like that. That's where it's at now. Like, it's like the mask thing where...
Oh, I got a blunderbuss. That blunder's my bus.
I do love the blunderbuss. You do not have much... I was going to say, you do not have much life left.
Yeah, but I killed him. And then he killed me after.
Well, his bullet was out of his gun.
I don't believe that. So this game was sort of a spiritual successor to GoldenEye.
This is the PS2 version, isn't it?
Yes, this only came out on PS2. Number one was
GameCube version?
Yes, two and three are on GameCube.
All right.
2 is a game that I've played an ungodly amount of hours because it was 4-player multiplayer on the Xbox that was basically GoldenEye. And it had a lot of wacky game modes and fun game modes. Fucking, the infection mode was awesome because they'd be running around on fire. And if they touch you, you get lit on fire. So everyone's just lit on fire by the end. I don't know what button's what. Alright, that's crouch. Alright, so left bumper's crouch. That's weird.
Oh, yeah, I love...
Old school fucking controls, man.
Yeah, going back like, 10 or 15 years, or really, what was this one now, 20. And just, you'll do things like, I'll push like right thumbstick to run or something. And it's like, that's not there.
Also, the gun keeps switching by itself, and I don't know why.
Have you got something mapped to the same thing? Because that's usually...
No, it looks like when you pick up another weapon. Ah, there we go. So it has a setting where it auto
switches
changes
to the weapon,
weapons.
yeah.
No one wants that.
I mean, not when it's a weapon you've already got. Like, that's weird.
Oh, you cheeky fez-wearing fucks. Where'd you come from?
Didn't Ataturk ban the fez?
I don't know.
I suppose we're not even in Turkey. Still. I mean, I think that was a little harsh. Like, you don't need to ban the fez to modernize. You can have stupid hats. Like, every culture
Wait, why
everywhere.
is the fez banned?
Oh, it was... Is that Mummy going to attack them?
I don't
I feel
think so.
like it should.
Fuck off, Brendan Fraser. Also, I've been saying his name wrong for years. It's Brendan Fraser. It's not Fraser.
No.
And I'm really upset
Yeah.
because I've been calling him the wrong name.
Well, Frasier hears the blues are calling. That's a different guy. I think that's like...
Come now.
I think that's like... Wow, yeah, this is an old style game. You're meant to be like, you know, there's no just like your health comes back. They don't care. They like it wasn't until about like 2010 that games started caring whether you finished it or not. They just didn't give a shit. Oh, and now the games that are like that, like fucking the Souls-like and stuff, people get upset.
Yeah.
You know, people get cranky at it. It's like, oh, the game won't let me beat it. It's like, yeah, that was how shit used to be for like fucking, 30 odd years.
I mean, like, look at this shit.
Is there a way to set that so that you got like twin stick? Because I know there's a way to do that with some of the later Turoks. It mightn't feel good in this. Or even, given the game's not really built for it.
Honestly, the Timesplitters game, like the first one, best off just hip firing everything.
Yeah.
Because the auto lock on's stronger than the.
Well, that and it's like, the game's not built around you successfully nailing headshots.
No. The second one, yes. Also, if you want to be like.
Well, it's like Turok 2 on the 64 had ostensibly what we'd today consider a twin stick approach, except you used D-pad as one of the other sticks, so you had basically digital movement, but you had analog look, and you could switch it on. But it's a bit like mouse look in Duke Nukem 3D in that it just feels painful.
Yeah. So you can actually do it to toggle.
Yeah.
So it goes. So you just press
Awesome.
it.
Yeah.
So you can do it like that.
Yeah. See, it's the cursor speed and the fact that it zeroes back in.
Yeah.
You need to go back downstairs and find that fucking health pack. There was a health pack downstairs. And I feel like, because you're gonna have to dust off the old man things.
I'm going to have to fucking put it to easy. That's what I'm going to have to do.
Yeah.
This game's just
What is
fucking. I'm on normal.
Oh.
Oh, I wanted to turn that off. Shit. Where is it?
Game's hard. Yeah. If you practice at it, like.
So yeah, time.
It's the zeroing back in that kind of fucks it up.
It needs to stay where it
Yeah.
fucking is.
But again, like there's, several, fucking. God. When do they start? Hey, you. Yeah, see, now you're getting the fucking,
You just got to game corners.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. I'm dead.
How dare you peek? Ooh.
I don't think you can kill them. I think they just get
You
back
gotta
up.
knock his head off, because I know you. Oh.
All right, let's put this to easy. I forgot this game is so fucking hard. That was one of the best parts about 2, is it had quite a very hard difficulty curve. And,
you are playing it like it's a modern shooter. Like you're supposed to drag your ass through these games, like slowly edge forward and like.
Which is weird because it's such a frantic, fast-paced game, and they push that on you, especially number 2.
Well, does this have that, because I feel like you can't move out of the way of bullets in this, really. I feel like if they're aiming at you, you're just going to get hit.
It's just... That's it's
I
one
don't-
of those
it's
old
not-
difficulties where the
It's
higher
not
the
like
difficulty...
proper just tracking like it, used to be in like the old, Duke Nukems and
So
shit
basically,
like
the
that, but
higher the difficulty you go, the more you're going to get hit because they get more accurate.
the Mauser.
So, like, there's not even an enemy there.
Oh.
Okay.
It's much easier exploring, when the natives aren't around. we didn't shoot your lower back, but like, you know, good job. Oscar for you there, champ.
So, back to that thing where about people and the names in their handles. I do find it funny because, yeah, when I was playing Destiny the other day, there was like guy, Lord Boo 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 Ba Ba, and, you know, Shabubu. And then there's Greg. Just Greg.
Yeah, there's a few that get me like that. Like, yeah, because and like, there's no real good term for this that doesn't also involve some level of narcissism, but it's not really like that. It's more just an egomania or egocentrism. Where I don't, you know, ever want to not be me. You know, like I don't get the whole I'll create another personality thing and then I'll be happy. Because wherever you go, you're just you. You know, the first dude ain't covering that up. But like, you know, there's been a few on fucking. It was when I was playing shitloads of Team Fortress back in the day. Back when Team Fortress 2 first came out. I just, you know, I had. What was I doing at the time? Yeah, I wasn't really doing much. I think I was doing TAFE, but like, I was also.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the third time you've heard this story.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Which story?
The TF2 name story.
Which names?
Say one of the names.
Matt Damon is the one that always comes to mind.
Yes.
And then there was Horatio Sands.
Yes, you've told this 3 times.
Okay.
I occasionally remember things. Oh yeah, you go shoot the heads
Let's
off.
just stick with. Oh, that and yeah, the other one was I Eat Piss. I'm pretty sure I've told that one.
Why does the zombie have heels? You saw that, right?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, it's kind of like when the exoskeleton or the endoskeleton of the T-800 and like you see it with your foot without meat, and it's like it's these funny little bones, and like that's one of those things. You know, there's no way you could balance on that. I mean, I'm assuming, all right, yeah, he's like fucking got robot brain balance and shit, but still, like that's a slippy fucking surface. You know, like imagine like, you know, because that happened. Well, that guy's got meat.
Okay, he just died.
Well, yeah, his meat died. See, that's the thing. Like, that's the downside. Is like your mummies, you know, they don't die easy, but also they're kind of slow and shit because they're just bones and like a really delicious jerky if you can actually get a hold of it. But like, you know, the meat guys, they can like move a little quicker and whatnot. But then you can just kill meat, Aaron. Like if you shoot the chest meat a lot, they'll fall down eventually. You don't have to headshot them.
That one had a gun.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, I'm not sure about that. I don't know if that's acceptable. Oh, my head. So see, I think once the head's gone, they're dead. Because I don't, you know, there's got to be some fucking rules. Like, what's the story of Timesplitters? Because right now you just appear with a Mauser in, like, fucking Egypt. I'm assuming there's time travel involved.
Yeah. Not sure the original story because it doesn't really tell you anything.
It was in the booklet.
Probably.
Yeah, well, that's, you know.
I think number 2.
Slapping. Well, this is PS2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably
This was like an early fucking game for them. So the second one was night and day, like cutscenes, voice acting, actual story and stuff. Number 2, I believe, is about
Actual story.
the time splitters basically going to try to break different points in time. You have to stop them.
These crafty buggers.
I hate fucking old FPS level design so much.
It really is hideous. Like, it's so fucking bad.
Like, I've got this Unk. Unk?
I think Ankh, that's how it was. I mean, it's, you know,
So that's
it's tough to
obviously
work out the
something.
pronunciation of, like, you know, functionally a dead language. I'm trying to think if we've ever actually... I know Aramaic was very similar, and that's how we actually managed to... That's how the person who worked out how to translate the... Oh, look, see, the meat guys are quick.
Shot a fireball at me.
What a dick.
You die, meat.
Yeah. The meat is fast.
And in Timesplitters 2, I used to play a character called Beetle Man. He was my favorite. He was a head of a gangster with just the body of a beetle.
Okay. Well, I mean, this looks good. I mean, you're outside again, and there's.
I think I just have to get to the
The
edges.
meat's appearing, so it's probably oh.
Oh, that's it? Oh. Right.
Yeah.
How do I
You do not
continue?
start. Oh, look at that. Fuck, I'm a genius. Some kind of brain wizard.
This game is a fuck, we'll play number 2 at some point.
It's,
Number 2
an
is
old
so good.
school game. Like,
So this was mainly based around the multiplayer aspect. So at the time, like, multiplayer was huge for like a game like this because they didn't exist on the PlayStation. So this, I think
you would have needed a multi-tap.
I think it did support the multi-tap.
I mean, it should.
I'm pretty sure it did. It's arcade.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so like
Bag tag.
Like this level's just called Chinese.
Yeah. Not 1970 China.
Chinese.
1970 Chinese. That's fucking great.
Look at that face. Woo. Kind of looks like Lisa Kudrow.
Oh, fuck, it does too. She does have like a very PS2 level of angularity to her face.
She's got a PS2 hairstyle.
Yeah.
Straight out of PS2. Also, this game's loading time was fucking horrendous.
I have a few mods across various things that chingy chingy ching ching chong chong chong. Fuck yeah.
The music in this game is so good.
I actually looked up that riff because I was curious as to where it came from and how, like, you know, whether it was derived from something, like maybe some piece of actual Asian music. And it isn't. And, like, a lot of Chinese people don't even like, understand that that's a thing fucking Westerners use to go like, oh yeah, this is Chinese now. It's a little bit like fortune cook. Why are you punching?
I wanted to see if it did anything. It did not.
It's a little bit like, what is it, fortune cookies? They're, you know, they're not Chinese. There's another food like that too. It's like, I think it's the dim sum or it might be something else. I think it's like one of those things where it's like, it was a Western idea of like what Chinese food would be like. Which is fun. I love shit like that. That kind of thing happens with words a lot. But like words will just kind of appear out of nowhere because people will think that like one of them was a, you know, related to another word because they sound the same, but really there's no relation whatsoever.
Yeah.
We wind up getting like weird verbs and shit that just wouldn't normally exist. Toilets and first-person shooters. Oh yeah, health.
Toilet health.
Sweet.
Best.
Yeah.
Not meat.
Fuck yeah. All right. Had had medical treatment. I've got body armor on.
Also, your kids and your fancy dual wielding. Guess what? Fucking one fire button does both.
You see, that's why I want a fucking gong. You know?
can go, "Wong."
Yeah. That and it's like, you know, it's a fairly easy instrument to play. Someone suggested I get a fucking trombone instead of a tuba. And I'm not even gonna dignify that with a point. I'm just gonna let that sit.
I mean, you could walk around doing the fucking adult talking noise from Charlie Brown with one.
Yeah, but that's not, you know, again, this is missing.
I know. It's missing the point of the tuba.
Yeah. I know I can get a trombone. You know?
You can also get a recorder and many other instruments.
Yeah.
Point is, you want a fucking
I want a fucking
tuba.
trombone. Yeah, I want a tuba, not a trombone.
These lungs were made for tubering. That's just what we'll do.
All right, China should have different, like, mummies and mummies that have not been properly prepared for the afterlife.
So I think that's the
Okay, you've got the bag. You need to just leave now.
yeah, I know.
All right.
I think
they're
it's
like time goblins or something.
Yeah, so because we visited Egypt first, we're going to each place to take an item, and I believe the Timesplitters, as we go through the levels, are gonna keep throwing older enemies at us from the previous levels.
Okay.
I think that's how it works.
I really, you know, I mean, I know this is a game from like fucking probably 2001. I mean, in the modern version, you'd get like, you know, like fucking the hopping vampires. Those are great. You don't see those enough. Just a Vampire. It's a great fucking movie. You should watch it. Such a fun piece of lore, you know? It's like, what happens? Well, we can't just have zombies running around because, like, in like Chinese folklore, zombies and vampires are kind of quite similar.
Right.
You know, there's not a huge. There's not the distinction that you'd get in like the West. I mean, though that's changed a bit now because the Western zombie sort of idea has made its way to the East. But like, so the idea is you can't have your fucking, your zombie fucking vampires just around. So what they do is they tie their feet together so they can't get about, and they put this bit of yellow fucking paper on their head with something written in fucking chicken blood. And the thing you write is like a fucking Buddhist thing that like says, "Oi, you're dead. No fucking running around." Ugh. Jesus. Oh God.
No problem.
Oh, a voice line. That's nice.
I swear she's the first one that's had a voice line.
Yeah. Chastity Detroit.
Let's have a look.
A stripper would look at that name and go, no. Chastity Detroit.
The Timesplitters is a series of first-person shooter games developed by Free Radical Design. Games are often compared to Rare shooters GoldenEye 007 and Perfect Dark since Free Radical Design was founded by a group of ex-Rare employees who developed these games. Yeah. So that's why it was huge, because they basically went, hey, this is just modern GoldenEye. And everyone's like, wow, fucking it is.
Ooh, we got the sci-fi handgun. That's bad.
Oh, that's it?
What is it? Yeah. Yeah. Hue noises. Proxies!
Like, even the noises are the same.
Yeah. When you absolutely positively feel like starting a fight with your brother. Someone above you, I believe. Or I think you touched your own line, maybe.
So if you guys want an old trick, if you still play GoldenEye and you play against certain people, depending on your version of the game where you live, because there's actually different revisions of 64 games and stuff. In one of the older revisions, you could throw proxy mines on ammo crates and then pick up the ammo crates. And the proxy mine
would just be there in space.
It would no, it disappeared completely.
Really?
Yeah.
So you had the one that had at least one of the revisions. I know you could still. They never patched out proxying the spawn point. They just didn't care.
That guy just keeps spawning.
That was just a thing you were allowed to do.
So yeah, the ammo crate would disappear,
and
when it came back, the mine would still be on it, but it wouldn't be visible. So people would just pick it up and explode. It's very dirty.
Played so much of that fucking multiplayer, and you look at it now, and it's like a fucking postage stamp GIF going at 20 FPS. You're like, oh God, it didn't feel that way, Complaining because you're stuck with the clob. What does it do? Well, regardless of where you're pointing it, it won't shoot in that direction. And on the off chance it does actually connect with something, oh, okay, so it like...
A little like bouncing betties.
That's terrible. Those take ages to even do the thing they're supposed to do.
Those rockets are lame.
They really are. I think like, just fireworks that Americans are allowed to buy are like better than that. No?
It's effective on single dudes though.
Reminds me of when like, did you manage to get fireworks when they were like weirdly legal for the citizenry to buy again? That feels like it's such a fucking urban legend, but I lived it.
We had fireworks, yeah.
Yeah.
We had jumping jacks, which you lit on fire and would proceed to jump.
Yeah.
He had a big fuck off, one of those big stubby ones. The really big short fat ones that you like sat. We put that on the lawn and it made like a 5-meter brown patch around it when it went off.
Yeah, some of them are like surprising. Like, cause, Dad tells stories of being back in like, the day when, you know, you'd just give a child a quarter stick of dynamite and that was a toy.
Yeah.
And people complain about shit like, oh, video games are violent. It's like, there was a thing that you could get for, I don't know, I'm going to say threepence, which was a firework called the Double Voice. And it was probably a bit like that fucking thing you had, where it was like basically 2 firecrackers, and one would go off, and then a second would go off. And the first one would shoot the second one into the air. Or if you had a closed bit of pipe, you had a bazooka. And...
I also like that Resident Evil actress. What's her name?
Huh?
Mila Jovovich?
Oh, yeah, Mila Jovovich.
Jovovich, yeah.
Mila Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. A woman so hot, Paul W.S. Anderson keeps making movies for her to keep her employed. Which, I mean, look.
Hey, Capcom keep giving them to him.
I'd do stupider things, I suppose.
I blame Capcom.
It's interesting, because Paul W.S. Anderson's part of, like, this interesting prism of terrible. Like, I feel like Michael Bay, in a way that he probably isn't even consciously aware of, hates cinema. I don't think Paul W.S. Anderson hates movies, but I have never seen a filmmaker treat a movie like it's me treating a retail job I don't fucking care about. You know, like it is... just... he does the bare minimum to make a movie function. You know, and it's not bad. You know, it's like me working in a bottle store. I'm not a bad employee. You know, someone walks in, I don't go, yeah, what the fuck you want, you cunt. Like, I help people. I get them their shit. But, like, I also have zero passion or care. If someone goes home with a product and they go, oh, that wine tastes bad, I don't fucking care. What the fuck? Okay. Alright, at least we got some zombies. That's always fun. You know, like... because you get the sense that in Michael Bay's movies that he hates you for watching them. But like, what are those? I've watched all of those Resident Evil films.
Same.
And, hey, there is a baffling amount of them.
There's like 7 of them.
Yeah. I honestly think the second one is not a bad film. I think the first one's all right, but like, it's also, you know, deviates so much from the source material that I just sort of stop giving a shit. Whereas the second one...
That's what I wish that's the fucking thing that pisses me off, is they deviated so far, and then they went back to it.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't. Just make your mind up. Make your own fucking thing.
The worst part is by the time they started really going back to the plot, they went back to like the worst elements of it. It's like, the second one... Whoops. Oh. You went in the water, Aaron. That's death in a game from this era. Like, the second one is like, yeah, that's Resident Evil 2. It's a bunch of fucking people escaping fucking, you know, city. I mean, there's Resident Evil 3 elements, obviously, because Nemesis is there. But, like, it's a, you know, it's... I think it's okay to combine Resident Evil 2 and 3 into one movie. Like,
100%.
I think that makes sense. You know, yeah, the film works. There's zombies, people get killed in dramatic fashion. You know, and, like, Anderson's terrible fucking, you know, approach to film hasn't gotten so bad that he needs to do just really stupid shit to, I don't know, hold the attention of the slug mutants that think his movies are fun. Because he can't film anything... That was interesting. He can't film anything in an interesting way, and he can't come up with or, you know, create a movie that has characters that you might accidentally develop a connection to. So, you know, it's like that thing Doctor Who does where just like every problem is the end of the universe, and it's like, because they can't make you give a shit about anything else. So like, and like, where does that go? It's like, oh, the universe is ending again. And like, that's all Paul W.S. Anderson can do is just bizarre, wild nonsense. Like, oh yeah, now she's like fucking back kicking a bullet into a zombie's head, and the zombie is also like a fucking dragon, and now it's flying into a motorcycle. And I don't think you should be allowed to pick the lady characters anymore. At least Fingers had a sensual grunt as well.
Let's roll.
Jesus. It's weird that this is a PS2 game because it really feels like a Nintendo 64 game.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I feel like maybe that was some development started there.
You got to remember.
PS2 had twin.
You got to remember
had two
they split off
thumbsticks.
from Rare.
Yeah.
So they were a tiny studio.
Yeah.
This was their startup game.
No, the PS2 controller was dual. Two thumbsticks from the start.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
PS2 was, yeah.
Fucking.
It was 1999 they founded.
Getting old and I'm dying. I'm gonna start.
See, that was their first game.
I'm gonna start eating some of you.
They did Second Sight. That's right.
I'm going.
Did you ever play Second Sight?
What was that on? I don't think so.
It was on PS2, GameCube, Xbox. It was a psychological sort of thriller.
Cool.
With this guy who's in an insane asylum and basically gets powers and shit. Really fucking cool.
Nifty tits.
I want to play that and Psyops. Psyops was another one that was a little bit of a cult classic.
I want to play fucking Deadly Premonition, but the PC version just doesn't work.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they sell it on fucking Steam, which is fascinating.
Wow. I hate that shit, dude. When they're like, oh, here's a game you can't use, doesn't work. That's fine.
Apparently there's some collection of it. I know the sequel is coming out on Switch. I'm going to have to look into that again. Like, I know it's not what we'd classically term a good game. But, per my distinction between things that are good and things that I like, it is a game that is effectively, heavily influenced by, if not wholesale stealing from Twin Peaks. So, I must play it. It's...
Oh! I'm
Because
fucked.
the fact is, I just don't think we're ever going to get David Lynch to make a video game, which is kind of a shame. I mean, back in the early days, when FMV games were first, fucking, a big deal, it's really telling that the game doesn't really have any hurt indicators, there's no,
Yeah.
direction. It's just like, oh, yeah, this is old.
I'm miffed. That doesn't explode.
I have been miffed. Miff has been indeed. I wonder where that comes from, actually. I don't know what the etymology of miffed is. I looked that up. I'm gonna play Etymology with Gabriel. That guy got you with shotguns.
Dude, he's fucked.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot guns. Alright, where are we? Miffed. Feels like it could be English, but...
Who came up with the word shotgun? What a fucking word.
Well, I know that the material within it, the little balls, is referred to as shot.
Interesting. Oh, yeah, because then you got, buckshot. Right,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. So, and I know that comes from the canon days, but I vaguely... I think shot actually goes back to, might be one of the actual Indo-European ones. Goes back real far. Myth, informal. Early 17th century, perhaps imitative. Compares with the early modern German muff. An exclamation of disgust.
Okay.
Which is somewhat... Ooh.
2 shots from those guys,
Yeah.
from full health to 10%.
This is a
I'm on
shotgun, baby.
Easy.
Yeah. Not etymology. We're gonna look that up. Skills. Its origin, Germanic. It's back to Old English as a combination of Gesjot, German Geschoss. Where does that come from, though?
Dude's just spawning. That's cool. Really could use some help.
Right, let's Google. What is etymology online? So. Alright, so this is Proto-Germanic, and you're gonna have to go back before that. Tan, Old Norse, Old Frisian, Middle Dutch. Ah, I fucking knew it. I knew there was a fucking Proto-Indo-European fucking skewed. To shoot,
dead.
chase, or throw. Oh, and the best! Nice!
That was tight butthole. Oh my god.
Probably not pronouncing that Proto-Indo-European fucking correctly. Well, the Middle Dutch. Scoot. Ooh. I'm kind of angry with the Dutch at the moment. 'Cause like, well, it's just, alright, so I read this list of like different terms for like bookworm.
Right.
And so bookworm, the English version, comes from, I think it's a moth larvae, because books used to, be gobs of fucking meat. Like, parchment and shit was skin, it was leather. And books were really expensive as a result, because the best parchment you could get was a vellum. And vellum was from unbirthed cows. So you had to get a grown to term, but not yet hatched cow fetus, and skin it, and that would produce the softest of vellum and the superior for turning in books. Obviously, having a bunch of fucking just cow fetuses around was, it was a big fucking deal until like the advent of industrial fucking, cattle farming. Not a lot of people had, books before paper. But, you'd get worm larvae living in your papyrus even, you'd get, fucking shit. So you'd look and you go, there are things burrowing through this book and consuming it voraciously. That's a bookworm. Naturally, that just got extended to describe someone who may read a book voraciously.
Yeah.
Bookworm. Fucking the Indonesians have like book flea, which is, translates to English as, which, all right, yeah, it's probably a similar bug. Probably another bug. They open a book and it's like, there's little things that live in the book. Oh, look at you, you're living in a book. All right, I can understand that. Romanians have library mouse, which is very cute. And also, yeah, again, you think old libraries, dusty places, and mice chew through shit. Germans have like fucking, I think, library rat or reading rat. It's like, all right, yeah, similar shit. The French, in, staggering French fashion, have the fancy one, ink drinker. Which suits them down to the ground. And then there's the Dutch. And the Dutch is reading horse, which is fucking stupid.
Wow. How did they even come up with that?
I don't fucking know. I think a Dutch person tried to tell me on Twitter that it's like a horse is like, can just go forward and do stuff a lot. And it's like, yeah, no. Still no. Reading, you're a real reading horse. Like, surely even a Dutch person, the first Dutch person to have that said to him would have to have looked up and gone, what do you mean?
Surely.
Yeah. 'Cause don't you hate it when you open a book and there's just a bunch of, like, tiny little horses in there? And you're like, oh, look at all these horses in my book. And then you see, your little brother reads a lot. Yeah, you're like a book horse. You're like a reading horse, that thing that's in books a lot, or that thing that is known for reading a lot, or any fucking, possible analogical connection whatsoever. Look at you literature baboon. Like, the idea is there's supposed to be a connection. That's where we get these things. Bookworm, from the worms that lived in books.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Reading horse, from the Dutch for, I don't know, we've either never seen a book or a horse. I mean, it's got to have been some kind of homonym or something like that. Like, there hasn't been like a fucking pun or something. Like, maybe the Dutch for like horse and the Dutch for book are similar or some shit.
That's the
Otherwise,
end.
they're just insane. Is there fall damage in this? You don't have whatever the thing is.
I think that's it.
Is that it? All right, sweet. We have a brain. Or as the Dutch call it, a foot doorstop.
Wait.
This game doesn't have a jump, does it?
Nope.
What are you saying to me? Is that a threat?
You said horse divorce.
This really is like the most bare bones fucking game. It's like I'm
That's
playing.
it was made for multiplayer.
Yeah.
It like literally says here.
It's a multiplayer game and that they put some single player shit in so you could learn it.
Timesplitters is a series. Blah blah blah.
It's like I'm playing the PS4 Spider-Man again just because I didn't play any of the DLC, so I got that. And you know, the web swinging in that is a lot of fun. And I got the, I played it on my old fucking TV. So now it's at 4K and it has HDR and it's like, oh, that's nice. But like,
Game rolls. The game focuses on multiplayer first.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that explains that then. But like, for a game that goes to a fair bit of effort for some things, the fact that like some of the upgrades, well, like pretty much all of them really at a certain, what the fuck? Okay.
Wow.
I'm gonna make some crazy money. Some of the upgrades, well, like really a lot of them. Like normally you'd be like, because there's bits in the game where like you get like a mine from like an enemy. Like you break into this place and it's like, oh yeah, the fucking demons have been stealing like this fucking weapons. And you're like, oh, I could use this to make a fucking upgrade. And you're like, oh, that's cool. Because there's an in-universe explanation for the existence of that upgrade. And then to get all these other upgrades, you just need backpack tokens. And it's like, what's that? That's not a thing and that's stupid.
So they went to the trouble of making an in-game lore
Yeah.
upgrade, but then the rest are just
The rest are literally the most
Just
dumb
tokens.
video gamey things in, it may as well have been a magic mushroom. Like, yeah, I got enough mushrooms. Now I get like better webbing. And I mean like a lot of it, because it's busy work. So the games, go find all the backpacks. And again, in Spider-Man, that shit's fun because it involves being Spider-Man and getting around New York, which is just a lot of fucking fun. I mean, it could have been like, oh, I've left, my backpacks have these bits of lore, like, and that's what all the backpacks have, but they also have, like, diary entries where I wrote down ideas for fucking upgrades. And if you collect enough of them, I can fucking, build a new upgrade. It's like, all right, that's fine. I found enough pogs, and now my web shooters are better. And there was a guy to your right.
I hate this level. Well, I don't even care if you're not dead. Fuck you.
Bugs the ever-loving shit out of me. It's like it's most of the game. And it's like, it would otherwise be a fairly petty thing, It's not a big deal really, but it's just... You defeated this base. Now they're gonna give you a biscuit, and that you can give that biscuit to nobody and get wet up where now your webbing's better. Holy buggery!
Just a small zombie problem.
Woo! 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 Wait, fuck off with your fucking speed. You're not fast. Yeah, die from a headache, you ballsack. Like, stuff just appears. Okay. That was a good sound effect. I like that. Oh, he fell down. Christ.
Where are you? There you are. Fucking heard you.
Oh, he went for your balls. Cheeky bugger.
He runs out to Peekaboo's balls.
Pika balls.
Well, now. I don't even know what got me.
That zombie police officer had a gun. Even in death, they just have to shoot everybody. Well, at least the American ones. I mean, say what you will about the glorified high school bullies and really for a long time, military wing of a hillbillies dictatorship in Queensland. You know, the local police. But I mean, a lot of them would call you a poof for half the shit the fucking American cops do.
Yeah.
Like, you know, fucking. You wait until you get him into the jail cell and then you belt him in the fucking liver a little bit. You know, just get the gun out straight away. I mean, I still come back to that fucking dude in Melbourne who was just, you know, running around with a knife and shit. Like, because you can see the footage of it. Like, there's fucking guys going at him with his fists up. It's just like...
I disagree.
Just bummed that the fucking zombies don't attack the fucking... Maybe the mummies have, like, you know, a memory. And, like, that Egyptian dude's, like, his great-great-grandchild. So he's, like, not gonna fucking butcher him up. Because the last... As much of a kind of bizarre clusterfuck the last, like, fucking 25% of Last of Us 2 is...
No spoilers, please.
Well, I'm not... There's no narrative spoilers. Have you even played the first one?
Oh, no. I played it for about 2 hours.
Like... Well, I mean, it happens earlier in the game as well, but, like, there's parts now where, like, human enemies and infected interact. And you can, like, throw a brick, and then the infected go, and run over, and they get the fucking human, and it's great. It is one of the most fun parts of that fucking game, because the humans scream. And they're getting, you know, chewed up, and it's just... There's a lot of little details in that game that I just love. Like, oh, fuck off. Fucking Jesus. That guy's shotgun's better than yours.
Yep.
What the fuck? That's a deer's face. Deer's face has bullets coming out of it. I don't know what the fuck. Like, ah, God. This is just that old-timey thing where just anything was a fucking enemy. What are we gonna do? Oh, are we gonna build a turret? No, we're just gonna... The deers are gonna shoot from their mouth. Why? Ah, because the deers have had enough. They're just fucking... Oh! You know, like, sometimes when you kill people in that game, you know, like... It's like, you'll have squads of people and they're friends, you know, they hang out. And then, like, you know, one of them's like, Cynthia! Because you shot Cynthia in the fucking face. And fuck, that makes shooting Cynthia a lot more fun. You know? It was like something in fucking, Lisa. Every enemy in that game has their own name. Like, there's not just like, oh yeah, here's like fucking Dave and there's Dave again or any of that shit. I love that. It's just such a fun little detail. It's like, yeah, you shoot Cynthia in the neck and she's choking on blood and she's holding her neck. And, you know, there's another guy there and he's like upset that that's happening. And it just...
Oh, sucks.
Little details that make, you know, something that is otherwise unbelievably common, like shooting NPCs. It just adds a little zest, you know?
Yeah.
Like Tabasco sauce on eggs. You know what's fucking plain? Eggs. You know what's great? Eggs with Tabasco sauce.
Oh, come now.
I know.
This fucking game is pissing me off.
You requested this again?
Flat rabbit.
Flat rabbit, that's right. Why flat? I'm kind of curious, you know? Alright, you dongs. Because, like, even
I guess
my
squash
fucking...
rabbit was taken.
Yeah. A flat rabbit's lucky in that culture? I don't know.
Like, how do
Maybe
I
that's his favorite dinner and he's from the
headshot
American
that
South.
motherfucker
Yeah.
from the fucking corridor away?
This feels like a Return of the Living Dead movie, because the zombies wear clothes and can operate guns, so they probably have voices and might have, like, a comedy line or two, you know, like... One will mention living through, like, a fucking war or something. You're like, ah, he's old. That one's got a gun.
Yep. Like, they just do way too much damage.
That really is a lot.
Because I'm on easy. It's not normal. It's not hard. Easy. Like, come on, bro. Like,
That's fucked because that was a handgun too. Like, okay.
No, it was a shotgun.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah. There's no other weapon in this level.
It looked like it was just one bullet was coming out of it.
I know.
Oh, bugger Jesus.
Come on.
I like the faintly Castlevania music.
At least once you shoot them, they drop their guns.
Fucking, yeah. Oh, me noggin! Because in the Return of the Living Dead's, like, head damage and, you know, beheadings didn't stop the fucking zombies. They were just,
Oh, really?
Yeah, like, I mean, it makes for an okay single film, but, like, by the second one, they'd added this thing where, like, electrocution with really high voltage. That took them out. And you were lucky she was too dumb to find you. Okay? Runner. Oh, fuck off. That was some skill fucking play there, Aaron, because I didn't even see that cunt. You know, and this time I'm actually watching you play and I'm not looking at like Rule 34 zombies or some shit. Oh, yeah!
That place sucked.
A lot of blind fucking corners where there can just be a guy with a fucking shotgun, like just standing there.
Yeah.
You know, not making any noise or signaling his fucking, you know, existence. Ooh,
Look, we're nearly finished. Wow. Look, it's fucking. It's old Dewey.
Oh shit. What's the woman's name? No, go back. I didn't see the woman's name.
August Strom.
Excellent.
Hang on. Yeah.
Yeah, hang on. I'm not meant to be in a first-person shooter. I don't understand what's going on. There's no narrative reason for any of these people to be different characters.
I think so. I think in 2, it explained it.
You'd hope.
You jump into bodies.
Oh, wow. So we're getting fucking Quantum Leap going on.
So
finally, the Quantum Leap game I've, you know, wanted, but never been brave enough to.
So the 2 main titular characters are this sort of Morgan Freeman, Neo-looking motherfucker.
Guy, yeah.
And then, you know, he's black. And then the second one is a female. So there's always a male and a female that they jump into in the time period.
There we go.
Yay.
He was done with this life and this job. That's hell, like, you know, I think about that a bit, like, you know, because, like, you know, my grandfather on my mum's side, my mum's father was in, you know, World War II, and my dad's mother's father was in World War I, and, like, Gallipoli and shit. And, you know, like, I think about that from time to time, because, like, it, you know, mum was, like, my mum's father died, like, a while ago now, but, like, you know, they were going through some of his stuff a little while back, like, 6 months ago. And they found, like, you know, effectively his discharge papers. And it was one of those things where it was like, oh, yeah, this was old-timey shit. Because it's like the discharge papers were basically like, you know, he did his service and he left and shit, but it was like, oh yeah, he's also got like, you know, severe PTSD. Off you go into the world.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, that never, and like nobody knew. Like, he just kept that. You know, that was just like, well, my brain's a bit wrong. Oh well. Time to get a job at the docks.
Man. Was a fucked.
Well, because that's the fucking nuts thing that I kept coming back to, and it's like with like, you know, great granddad that went to fucking Gallipoli and shit. And it's like, you know, he was at Gallipoli at like the age of fucking 18 or like 19. It was like it was, you know, it was something these days where if you looked at them, you'd sooner slap them than hear their opinion on anything.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not gonna listen to a 19-year-old. Nobody will. You know? I'm 37, you may as well be fucking 12. But then, like, you know, fucking, of all the places, they mailed this cunt to Gallipoli. He's just, you know, what was your, you know, some of your defining, you know, the thing that defined your young existence. And it's like, oh, just loud and nightmarishly dangerous all the time. Because he survived Gallipoli, and then because he survived Gallipoli, they sent him to France.
As you do?
Yeah. And then he finally lost an arm to a stick grenade in France. And he managed to come back with only an alcohol problem and not a morphine addiction, which was a fucking good get, actually. So,
Okay, so the exit's not where the entrance was.
that sucks.
It does suck. I was banking on it being
props to
there.
great grandpa for not bringing back a fucking debilitating morphine dependency. And again, like, it was back here with like, oh yeah, here's your fucking, crippled pension, and here's, your RSL membership, so, enjoy your 22nd birthday. It's like, fuck me, man. I guess you wonder how shit gets weird, It's like, dudes don't really talk about their feelings. It's like, yeah, some of these guys' feelings were insane. And then they came back fucking insane, and they were kind of insane to their kids.
For fuck's sake! Where are you? I hear him.
I think he was that guy, because he was throwing Hadoukens at you. Ooh! Fucking just constantly spawning enemies.
I swear there was a second fucking camera. I mean, who shot that?
It's over to the left. Yeah.
Like, who's shooting me? Oh, there he is. Fucking...
Jesus. You have a sniper's rifle?
I do.
Oh, whatever, he's dead now. Oh, fuck it, who cares?
But it's that thing where, like, it's better just to fucking freehand shoot at him.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to sit there.
Alright, what do we got left?
Okay.
I'm assuming that guy's gonna, like, pull himself together.
Excellent. Hell yeah. I spent 2 hours assembling my giant fucking Devastator. I had a giant Devastator, and the giant Devastator was originally like $500. And there's the giantest Devastator, but only by a bit, is the Toy World Devastator. He's $1,000.
And how big is that?
It is like 51 centimeters.
Right, okay.
Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe around 52. But he's cheating, because his thighs are just this whole separate bit that comes with him. And they don't turn into anything. It's not like they invented a new fucking Constructicon called Thigh Master or some shit, which I prefer, to be honest. So there's just like, oh yeah, look. There's like, the toy, the Transformer, is named after a fucking verb. It has a function. Without that function, it is not a Transformer. It's just a model or a fucking action figure. And I don't want that. I don't want like excellent G.I. Joes. And I'm sure there are excellent G.I. Joes out there now. I want Transformers. I want the thing that does the function. The thing is, this is challenging. Building a thing that transforms from a fucking car to a robot, and especially if you want the robot to look like it did in the cartoon, because the cartoon was just like, yeah, whatever. It's a challenge. I'm not saying it's not. It's particularly challenging when you're building the ones that all have to form a robot and then also a leg, So some companies have started getting around this by just going, oh yeah, here's your robot in disguise. Because the good fucking Constructicons come with this weird little trailer that goes on the back of some of them. And in that trailer is the fist. And I don't know if trailers go on fucking, like, a fucking, scoop shovel or whatever. But I'm not a tradie, so fucking maybe. So there it is. The fist's nice and hidden. But then there's like, there's big giant hips. So it's like, oh yeah, look, there's a bunch of fucking robots in disguise. I don't know what those are. Those could just be construction vehicles for all I know. Oh, there's you know, fucking 4 meter high set of robot hips for some mysterious reason, just hanging out with the fucking, you know, cement mixer. There's the cement mixer. There's the giant hips that every cement mixer has. The hips shake, you see, Aaron. It keeps the cement from solidifying in the fucking mixer.
I see.
Yeah, this is genius. And that thing where they just ship you a fucking big, giant set of hips with your fucking transformer, it's called Partsforming. And some of it's inevitable, you know, like you're gonna have big feet. But some of them go to the effort of making the feet do shit, so it's not technically Partsforming. And I like that. I like the little extra mile. But it is getting worse and worse, man. Like, there's this giant torso that comes with, like, the Zeta aerial bots. And you just click superior, you just click fucking, you know, one of them into it. And he's not even really the main part of it. He's just, it's like when you wear one of those strap-on penises that's designed to go over your own dick.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. And it's like, I'm not saying you can't do that. But you're not allowed to put a strap-on dick over your dick and then brag about how big your dick is. And that's the same as like, oh yeah, look at how nice the fucking figure looks. It's like, yeah, he's cheating. He's got a fucking strap-on on. It's not. So mine's the biggest you get without a strap-on dick.
Right.
He's fucking huge. He weighs a ton. The other one I got was heavy and big. But like this one's heavy enough that I'm like annoyed holding it for too long. He's like, I gotta put this fucking thing down. Gotta weigh him because I think he's at least 2 kilos. He's heavier than my cat.
That's nuts.
Yeah. My cat's a little fatty. Not all winter fur either. Drinking a lot of milk. Ooh. And a sausage.
I think he sounds explodey.
Something's means here. Why are you speaking at me in Star Wars? Oh. Okay, this is like the Fifth Element.
Alright, the exit was not out here.
Damn.
Bro.
That feels unfair. Maybe we gotta get a taxi. Spaceways. Takes us ways in space. Because you know, at a certain point, you may as well just buy a giant fucking model. They have those. But then it's not a transformer.
Yeah. Fuck my life. I don't know where this fucking exit is.
It's like buying a fucking CPU cooler that looks amazing but doesn't actually spin or do anything. I love like voice files that were clearly just a guy that is also like probably did the textures and shit.
Yeah.
You really hear the difference. Like you really do. You don't think much about voice actors even in minor roles, but then you hear like a person who's just not a voice actor try one. It's like, oh yeah, all right. I mean, the same is true of like acting, really. Like you just don't think, oh, how hard's that? It's like, no, like if you ever watch something that just doesn't have actors in it, it's like, oh shit. This is awful. Like it's one of those things that really, you have to see it once. Because it gives you the respect that you should have for what the actual fucking craft is. And I don't mean like a mutant, like the fucking Room dude. No.
Yeah.
Because he can't act, but also I don't think he's mostly a person. Like, he's a shoebox that fucking...
I think he's an android wearing human skin.
He does have like that sort of, you know, not from Terminator. He's probably from... He was one of the background characters in Cyborg.
Yeah.
You know, like it passes the Turing test, but like it fails a lot of other tests that we don't think about until something passes the Turing test. It's like, yeah, it passes the Turing test, but it has an accent that comes from no known country. Like, oh, yeah, I never thought about how that might be fucking weird until you hear it. Then you're like, oh, that's fucking strange. Although apparently, like, Schwarzenegger's accent is like the Austrian equivalent of a hillbilly accent. So they dubbed it in the Austrian versions of Terminator. Because otherwise it's like this fucking murder machine going, howdy, y'all, like, which is nuts. I think there should be a version of Terminator where he's dubbed with a hillbilly accent. So we can, like, feel that.
Yeah.
Because it annoys me the Austrians get a version of Terminator that has a hillbilly Terminator. and we don't. You know? I like the 70s couple. They seem nice. You know, I mean, that is a Mary Beth.
So yeah, the big thing about this is also it had a map maker.
Oh, wow. Yeah, no, that would have been a huge deal. Was this the first, like, fucking console game to have that?
Actually,
I
don't
mean,
know.
for a first-person shooter? I know,
I
like,
assume
Tony
so.
Hawk's Pro Skater 2 had, like, a fucking location builder, but I don't consider that really the same fucking thing. I mean,
Halo
it's in the
3.
same-
Halo
it's
3
on the
had a
same
map
tree,
maker.
but it's a different fucking branch.
Um,
When was Halo 3? Halo 3 had to have been after this.
oh, way after this. That's what I'm just saying. That's the only other FPS that I can think of that actually had.
Console, it has to be console. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know, people had
obviously.
map and level editors on fucking, you know.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, that is, yeah.
It's actually fucking nuts. 'Cause you can just make your own levels. It's like,
Oh, you could make a level that looks like a dick.
you could.
Most important thing.
You can
No,
place
for like-
items in the rooms.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is, you know, again, for something that's on a fucking PS2, that's legitimately fucking...
That's why I put so much hours into the second one of this, because it was just everything the first one did, but better.
I think Timesplitters 2 was the game that they were playing in Shaun of the Dead.
I think you're correct.
I have a fairly solid back catalogue of trivia about that movie. Although one thing that bugs me, the DVD for Shaun of the Dead was great. It had loads of really good extras, including 3 things that explain what they call plot holes, but I don't, and I don't think it's accurate, and I don't think it's fair. But they basically do this thing where, like, you know, they explain where Shaun went when he ran away with to try to lead the zombies away.
Right.
The little animatics. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like, you know, some cartoons and then you know, the character explaining and a little bit of music and shit like that. Like, they explain where Shaun went, explain where the fucking other girl went after she went out to fucking beat the zombies to death with her leg.
Yeah.
I think she survived in a tree. They explain how Shaun gets fucking Ed to the shed. And that's all nice. They don't explain how Ed pranged the fucking car, though. That drives me absolutely batshit. Because I have no doubt that he did it deliberately so he could drive the Jag. I mean, that just... You know, obvious. But I do not remotely consider where whatever her name is went after fucking fighting her way into a horde of zombies with a leg I mean, it's not a plot hole, let alone a hanging plot thread that I would consider remotely interesting or relevant enough to discuss at all.
Yeah.
How Ed pranged the car is almost a plot point, you know? Like, it's because of that they're in the Jag. It's because they're in the Jag that the fucking child locks are on, because Phil's a schlong. And, you know, there's things that happen as a result of that. Like, they have to get out of the car early, you know? Because they can't just open the door and boot zombie Philip out the car. Animatic for that. I am going to write a rationally threatening letter to... not to Simon Pegg. I think I'll send it to, what's his name? I can't the director.
Have you seen,
It'll drive me insane. I'm fucking spacing on names again today. It's another
You
one
seen
of those
Jojo
things.
Rabbit?
Not yet, no.
So
Keep
there's a,
meaning to, but it's just like I've let another big fucking pile of movies build up, and I don't know. At the moment, I'm playing a lot of I've got like a lot of games that I enjoy playing just as busy work. Like Spider-Man is fucking great for that. I can if I'm in them because I'm trying to fucking get a bunch more writing done again because I had to pause it to record Christ knows how many hours of bullshit. But it's fine. Whatever keeps the fucking monkeys happy. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to wind up... I feel like I'm going to wind up doing videos. I refuse to, because learn to read. But it's just one of those things where it's just like people don't want to read. And that bums me out.
I don't know why. I love reading.
I mean, I get that you can listen to something and do shit at the same time. Like, I do listen... there's a history of English podcast that I listen to. And that's great while I'm doing dishes or, cleaning or something else. It's like mindless, it's a mindless task. So you got something that fucking keeps the brain going. I do get that. But also, I don't think that these aren't long things. Some of these history of English podcasts are like fucking, an hour or something like that. They'd be fairly long pieces to read.
My peenie goes chip chip.
Yes. That's the level of detail that, I wouldn't have even thought to put in. Because I was never really a dick drawer, because I was never really an artist. I was a word guy.
So I was thinking, that's just a dick. That's just boring.
that's just
what
a
can I
dick.
make to make it like
Anyone can draw it. No, that's
streaming?
You can see it. That's good.
But yeah, anyway,
Enjoy
what
that.
I was saying about Jojo Rabbit, the reason I want you to watch it, and when you do watch it, please let me know. There's a kid in there, there's a little fat kid, and he is Nick Frost. He has his mannerisms, he has the way he speaks. It's a mini Nick Frost, and it freaks me out.
I feel like if we lived in England, we'd know a lot of people like that.
Yeah,
I feel
no.
like that's just a thing.
Yeah.
Is like Nick Frost is just an Englishman from a certain little spot of England. You could probably go there and just see like 14 people that look exactly like him.
Yeah.
Like just be like, oh, this is the village that fucking Nick Frost's fucking ancestors lived in for like 1,000 years and have never left really. And Nick was like one of the first ones to escape. And he wasn't even an actor. He was just fucking Simon Pegg's fucking friend.
Yeah.
I gotta find the fucking director of fucking, I can't remember his name. It's gonna fucking send me spastic.
The herd of frosts are coming. That's why they said winter's coming. It was actually just Nick Frost.
Shaun of the Dead director.
Catch you next time, children.
Yeah.
Classy is proudly sponsored completely by its fans. We thank you for your support.
It expanded somehow. I'll have you know.